Hey everybody, welcome to Tactical Tuesdays with Get Shit Done. As many of you know, I am going through a brand refresh right now, so please excuse any inconsistencies in branding as I move through all the different pieces that need to change. Um, Thank you for joining me if you're joining me live, and thank you if you're joining me on the replay. I think I might actually have this technology figured out this time. We'll see. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy. I help online solopreneurs interpret and heal functional chaos by establishing simple foundational practices to support sustainable growth and freedom. And in this series, I'm sharing some of my tips and tricks with Trello and how I use Trello to manage my entire business and everything stays in one place. I find this the simplest, easiest way to manage a business and to make sure that no task ever gets missed or forgotten. So today I'm actually sharing how I plan out my content or sorry, not my content. I apologize. I'm planning out showing you how I keep track of call tracking and make sure that I never forget to follow up with a client. That's really important to be able to follow up is one of the number one things. This is where the money is. This is where the sales are. And I find that so often many of my clients and people that are out there are making the calls. Don't get me wrong, you're on the calls, you're busting your butt, you're hustling. But what happens is that you forget about certain people that need to be followed up with. And so this system actually works really well for managing all those calls that you need to make, just figuring out who needs to be followed up with and all that sort of business. So I've got a special board here set up because I don't want to share my own board. I have full names in there and I don't think that that's good for privacy. So I just made up a fake board on how I'm going to show you how I do this. So whenever you're in social media or you're networking or you go to a live event or anything like that, you want to keep track of names and perhaps business cards if you're going to live events, all that kind of stuff. So you can do that here in the potentials board. So say you're in social media and you're having a conversation back and forth with somebody and you know that they're a perfect fit for this program that's coming up, but you're not quite ready to maybe reach out to them yet, or you just want to put it off for a certain day that's the day when you schedule all your sales calls. So here you can just drop their names in the potentials list. So you can open this card, you can add some sort of comments if you want. If you've actually gone to a live event and collected their business card, what you can do is on your smartphone, if you have the Trello app installed on your smartphone, is you can actually take a picture and attach a photo directly to this card of their business card. So that's pretty handy. Then you have all that information, all their personal information stored in one place, and you're not searching for it all over the place. You can add little comments to remind yourself of maybe a piece of the conversation that you had. You can add the description. Here is where I would maybe put their email and phone number, maybe where they live or where they're from, what time zone they're in. And then I would just write in little comments of things that remind me of what's going on so that I know exactly what Jane is a fit for and what I should be reaching out to her for. Now, when it comes time to actually they've booked a call with you or you've booked a call with them, all you need to do is drag it over here into the book to call section. And then when you've done that, you want to make sure that you're adding yourself as a member and adding a due date to it so that you don't miss that. You want to make sure that you're getting on that call. That's super, super important. First impressions are everything. And if you are late for a sales call, or you miss a sales call, big no-no. So make sure that you're putting that in there with your name as a member and a due date so that you get a notification for that call. And then you can maybe put, I don't know if you do calls through Zoom, you can add the Zoom link for the call in here. You could again add notes. They booked a call with you, you booked a call with them. Keep track of everything in here. So now you've gotten on the call and say they were a perfect fit for your group program, but they need to go and talk to their spouse. So Jane is going to go under the follow-up column. So when you do this, what you want to do is, first of all, make a comment about what happened on that sales call and what you feel needs to be discussed, or maybe certain things that happen during the call that you need to be aware of. So you're reminding yourself, we have so much going on that it's impossible to remember every little detail. So if you keep this all in one card, you're never going to lose that information. So when it comes time for follow-up, 5 minutes before the call, you can hop into this card, look at all your comments, and figure out where the pain points were for Jane and what the reason was for the follow-up call, etc., etc. Again, you're going to change the due date for when the follow-up call is to occur, and make sure you leave yourself as a member. That way, when it comes time for follow-up, it's really easy to find who you're looking for. So say you have several different follow-up calls to do, and I'm just going to add a few quick ones on here just so we've got 3 people that we need to follow up with on calls. So when you come in here, this list can get a little confusing if, say, you've got like 20 people to follow up with. So my favorite little trick here is, so long as you've got that due date on here, all you have to do is click these 3 little dots and click sort by due date, and that will bring the first call up to the top of the list. So when you come into this board, all you know is that on February 14th, you need to make 1 call, and that's it. So you never forget that follow-up. Once you've got that, say you've gone on the follow-up call and they've decided they're ready. They're going to enroll and they have paid you and they're good to go. So what you're going to do is actually drag them over to enrolled. So now when they get to the enrolled board, now what? Do they just stay there, or what happens? No, what happens is they need to get added to your client board. And if you have client onboarding, they need to get through that. So you can add a checklist for client onboarding. And whatever that might mean, you need to send an invoice, you need to send a contract perhaps, you need to get them to fill out an intake form maybe, you need to maybe land them in your membership group. Whatever it is that happens for you specifically, then you can onboard them like this. And once these things are checked off in the onboarding, then it's official and they get moved over to your client board and they can just get dropped into wherever. So, and that card disappears, goes onto your board for your client work, and Bob's your uncle. So I hope that's helpful. I will be back on Thursday to continue my series for Thinking Thursdays, the 10 Commandments of Getting Shit Done. And I hope you will join me for that. Same time, same place, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, on my Facebook on my Facebook page here. So I hope everyone has a great day. Please leave any comments or questions in the comments, and I will be sure to get back to those and answer them for you. Have a great day, everyone.